Let me tell you a story that begins with hard work, grows into love, and ends in heartbreak. This is the story of a young man named Chidi. Chidi was a simple boy from a small village. He grew up in a poor family. His father was a farmer. His mother sold vegetables in the market. They didn't have much, but they had love. Even as a boy, Chidi understood what responsibility meant. When his father fell sick and couldn't work anymore, Chidi became the man of the house. He was just 16. While other boys played football and chased girls, Chidi worked. He cleaned shoes after school. He carried water for neighbors. He saved every coin he could. He wanted a better life for his family. But even with all the hard work, Chidi felt lonely. He had no time for fun, no one to share his thoughts with. Life was just school, work, home, repeat. Day after day, year after year. When Chidi finished school, he got a job in the city. It was his first time leaving the village. He was scared, but excited. The city was big and loud, full of lights and noise. But it also gave him something he had never had before: freedom. In the city, Chidi started to make friends. He laughed more. He went out for drinks. For the first time in a long time, he was happy. His heart, once so heavy, started to feel light again. And then he met Mary. It was a Sunday afternoon. A friend invited him to a small party. Chidi didn't want to go at first, but something told him to go. That something was fate. Mary was there. She wasn't loud or trying to get attention, but her presence was strong. She had soft eyes and a calm smile. Chidi couldn't stop looking at her, and surprisingly, Mary noticed him too. They started talking that day. From hello to how are you to can I have your number? Everything flowed naturally. They talked for hours. They laughed about silly things, shared stories from their childhood. It felt like they had known each other forever. After that day, they couldn't stay away from each other. They texted all the time. They went on dates. They watched movies, cooked together, sat under the stars. They fell in love. And it wasn't just ordinary love. It was deep, peaceful, powerful. Chidi told Mary things he had never told anyone. Mary trusted Chidi with her whole heart. A year passed. They had seen the good and bad sides of each other, and they were still in love. So they decided it was time to take the next step. Chidi wanted to marry Mary. He called his mother. "Mama, I have met someone," he said. "She is kind, smart, and everything I ever prayed for. I want to bring her home for introduction." His mother was happy. "My son has found love," she said with joy. So the date was fixed. Chidi and Mary traveled to the village. Everyone was excited to meet the girl that stole Chidi's heart. She wore a beautiful wrapper and beads. Chidi wore his best native attire. They looked like a couple blessed by the gods. The two families sat together, and the elders began the introduction. Names were exchanged. Greetings were made. Everything was going well until one of the elder women from Chidi's side suddenly frowned. She whispered something to another elder. Then another elder joined the whisper. Then another. One of them stood up and asked Mary a question. "My daughter, please, what is your full name again, and where is your father from?" Mary answered with a smile. But when she said her father's name, the room went silent. Dead silent. The eldest uncle, a man who rarely spoke, stood up and said, "That man, He is my cousin." Shock filled the air. More questions were asked. More names were mentioned. Old family photos were brought out. After checking the family tree and asking the village elders, it was confirmed. Chidi and Mary were cousins. Not just distant cousins. Their fathers were first cousins. That meant Chidi and Mary were blood. The room was full of sadness and confusion. Mary burst into tears. Chidi held his head in disbelief. "No, this cannot be," he whispered. Then one of the oldest women in the family, who rarely spoke unless it was serious, got up. She looked at everyone and said, "Our ancestors made a rule long ago. If two people from our blood fall in love and try to marry, the spirits will not allow it. One of them must die. It is a curse that has followed us for generations." Some people laughed nervously. "It's just an old story," they said. But others looked worried. Chidi and Mary were told they must never see each other again. They cried for days. Mary begged Chidi to run away with her. "Let's forget the past. Let's go far away, just us." But Chidi couldn't. His heart was too heavy. And then, just 1 week later, Chidi fell sick. It started small, just a headache and weakness, but every day he got worse. He stopped eating. He lost weight. His eyes looked tired. Mary rushed to the hospital to be with him. She held his hand, wiped his sweat, stayed with him all night. The doctors couldn't explain it. His tests were normal. No infection, no disease. Yet he was dying. One night, Chidi looked at Mary and smiled weakly. "If there is another life," he said, "I will love you again, where bloodlines don't matter, where we are free." And those were his last words. Chidi passed away that night. His funeral was quiet. Everyone cried. Even those who didn't believe in the curse began to wonder. Mary never recovered. She moved far away, but she never married. Every year on Chidi's birthday, she lights a candle and says a prayer. Some say it was just bad luck. Others believe it was fate, or maybe the curse of the ancestors. But one thing is sure. It was a love that was real, but never meant to be. And that, my friend, is the story of Chidi and Mary.
He was 16 when the weight came down. Shouldered the load in a small town. Worked the fields and swept the floors, helping others while fighting his wars. He earned his stripes and wore them proud. Graduation cheers, a roaring crowd. Packed his bags, the city called. A bigger dream where towers stood tall. He carried hope like a burning flame, through every struggle, every name. But life's a twist, a cruel disguise, where truth unveils and dreams collide. He met a girl with a life so sweet, a kindred soul, his heart's heartbeat. Took her hand, a love so pure. The future felt like something sure. They went for blessings, a family meet. A shocking truth brought cold defeat. Bloodlines crossed, fate played its hand. The dreams they built turned to sand. He felt his sickness, the fight grew thin. The fire dimmed where it had been. But in his eyes, a light remained. A boy, a man, a life unchained. He felt his sickness, the fight grew